Assalamu alaikum. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In last class, we're discussing static route. And static route, this can be a single link or this can be a multiple link. For multiple link, we are just using qualified next hop to define the secondary path. But when I configure the static route for primary or secondary, we'll define the next hop. Okay. And next up will be the forwarding router IP address. So if you don't mention the next hop, there is another options reset and discard. So sometimes we need to discard the route for discard or reset the route for two reasons. One reason is you want to advertise those prefixes for the another routing protocol. This may be BGP or another like waste paper, another routing protocol. And another reason is you want to discard packet when incoming traffic is coming in your router to going to that destination, you want to reject or discard that packet because of any regulatory instruction or any security reason you want to block this one. So in that case, you can use reject and discard option. Okay, so today we will check reject and discard option how to apply this into scenario. Okay, so we go to our lab. Um, in last class, we have two router, Juniper router 1 and Juniper router 2. I add new router here, Juniper router 3 to checking discard and reject option in static route. So in Juniper router 2 and Juniper router 3, we configure here BGP, border gateway protocol, in shortly, but we discuss BGP in detail in later section. Okay, so we start now. Go to this PC. My PC is new PC is PPC 3. So delete the default configuration first and set the basic configuration in VPC 3. So now set the host name. Host name is VPC 3 and you don't need logical router here. So remove this one, logical router 1 and 2, not need management interface. Remove this one. That's all. Set interface. Your connected interface is GE dash 0 by 0 by 0 unit 0 description that will be connect with Juniper router 3 and IP address will be family inet address. IP address will be 10.1.3.10/24 for IPv4 and for IPv6, INET 6 address, IPv6 will be 2024:ABC:3:A/40. So our address configuration done. So set the default static route for IPv4 and IPv6. So set routing options static route for IPv4. This is the default route and my next stop will be 3.1. 3.1, this IP will be configured in Juniper router 3 Z0 by 0 interface. Okay. So this is the next stop for IPv4, and for IPv6 set routing options, RIB mention the route table, IPv6 route table. So IPv6 route table will be run show route. If you press this command here, see here the IPv6 route table. The table name is inet6.0. This table for IPv6 unicast route table. This table is called IPv6 unicast route table. And inet 0 is called the IPv4 unicast route table. So I need inet6.0, copy this one, and coming to IPv3, then set the RIB, then static route, and IPv6 default route is double colon slide 0, and your next stop will be double colon 1. So that's all for this VPC3. Basically, VPC3 is working as a PC. Okay, working as a PC. So now coming to Juniper Router 3, remove the default configuration from here. Set host name. Your host name will be Juniper Router 3. Logical router will be removed. Router 2. And delete the management interface. Set the hostname, set system hostname. Your hostname will be Juniper Router 3. And set the IP address. IP address, consider here loopback IP and duplicate. And this loopback IP, consider here 3. And for IPv6, this will be 3. So set interface hello 0 init 0 description. This is loopback and IPv4 IP family inet address. IPv4 IP will be 10.10.10.3/32 for IPv4 and IPv6. INET6 address, IPv6 address will be 2024 colon ABC colon A double colon 3/128. That's okay. Set interface GE dash 0 by 0 unit 0 description. This interface will connect with VPC3. And IPv4 IP address will be family inet address 10.1.3.1/24, and IPv6 address will be inet6 address 20224 colon ABC colon 3 double colon 1/48. So that's the configuration of Z0 by 0 and we'll configure next Z0 by 3, which is connected with Juniper Router 2. So set interface GE interface is 3 unit 0 description. This will be connected to Juniper Router 2 and IPv4 address will be 10.1.0.10/30 and IPv6 address 2024 colon ABC colon double colon 8. That means A/126. This is P2P basically for IPv4 and IPv6. Getting invalid IP because I set here inet. That means that will be inet 6. So consider this router S number ASN. Consider ASN is 100 and duplicate. Consider this router ASN is 200. Okay. So now from Juniper router to set interface, the three interface is name, unit 0 description that will be connect to Juniper router 3 and IPv4 IP 10.1.0.9/30 inet 6 address 2024 colon ABC colon double colon 9/126 2024 colon ABC double colon 9/126. Point. Now P2P IP, we have configured the P2P IP. We just configure now EBGP. For EBGP, need remote AS number and remote IP address. That is a very uh, basic requirement to configure the EBGP. So set routing options, router ID. I configured here loopback interface, right? So show mask LO0 display set. This is my loopback address of Juniper router 2 and Juniper router 3. This is loopback address of Juniper router 3. First, set the router ID for this router. Router ID will be loopback IP. That will be recommended to set the router ID because loopback is logical interface. You can set any IP address which is connected with your router, but that interface will be interrupt. Okay, that's why if this IP or interface interrupt, your protocol will be interrupted. So that's why when we configure dynamic routing and choose the router ID is loopback. That is the best option. Okay. So set the router ID first, then set the autonomous system number or AS number. Set routing options, a UTO autonomous system. I am in Juniper router 2, so my autonomous system number is 200 and set autonomous system number in Juniper router 3 and this router autonomous system 100. So set the edit protocol BGP group. Uh, just set the group name is test. Okay. Set type. So here we configure the eBGP. Okay. So not need this optional. Set neighbor. My neighbor will be Juniper router 3 with interface 3 interface IP address. So match this one 3 interface and display set. So this is my neighbor. This is my neighbor from Juniper router 2. So this is my neighbor and PRS, my PRS will be 100. I'm configured the Juniper router 2 and my remote PR is ASN 100, that means Juniper router 3. So my PRAS is 100. Okay. My AS is 200, my PRAS is 100. So it's the very basic. So from this one and go to Juniper router 3, edit protocol, BGP, group name is test, set neighbor. My neighbor will be 9. My neighbor will be 9 and my PRS will be 200. Okay, so comment this one. This is for IPv4 and show BGP summary to check the BGP status. BGP status, I checking here, BGP status is active. Now, BGP is up. Okay, say now, BGP is up. And the status is BGP is up now for 11 seconds. This is my neighbor and this is the neighbor AS number. This is the communication between neighbor packet, in packet and out packet. And this is the route status. See, first one is active. My active route received from this neighbor. My active route is 0. Nor I don't receive any route here. So don't receive any route. So there will be no option for active. There will be no option for accepted. So all are 0. So if you want to advertise your this prefix, okay, or any other prefix from router 2 or router 3, need this prefix will be in your table. Otherwise, this prefix not advertised. Okay. BGP default policy. BGP default policy in Juniper router 2, you have BGP route. You have listen carefully. Okay. In Juniper router 2, you have BGP route, which will be coming from BGP neighbor. This prefix will automatically advertise to another BGP neighbor. That is default. But in Juniper router 2, there is no BGP route. There is connected route and static route. There is connected route and static route. Okay. So if you want to advertise some routes from here to your pair, so you have this route table in your route table. Otherwise, this prefix will not advertise. So make this sense. Just in ASN 200, consider an public prefix. Consider here one public prefix like 209.165.200.0/22. Consider here. This is your public prefix and ASN 100 your upstream. Okay. You want to advertise your prefix towards your upstream. So this prefix is not connected Juniper router 2. This prefix is not connected in Juniper router 2. But you want to advertise this prefix to Juniper router 3 or ASN 100. Is it possible? Is it possible? Listen,
Yes, possible.
listen again. Just this is your customer router. Consider this is your customer router. Customer take /29 from you. Customer have no own IP address, own public IP address. Customer have no their own public address. So they lease public address from ASN 100. Like lease prefix is /29. Okay. So consider here this prefix is connected in Juniper router 1, and you are just making route from Juniper router 2 to reach the /29 prefix. So this 29 prefix will be in your route table. But when you advertise prefix to your API stream, this prefix must be minimum/24. Minimum/24. Okay. Up to this, you are not allowed in internet route table for IPv4. So you have to advertise those prefix hosts have minimum/24, and the 0 to /24. This is allowed. Other prefix not allowed. Okay. So in that case, you have route table for /29, but this is not allowed in your API stream. So this customer will not go in internet. So in that case, you have to advertise this prefix so that your customer can or can get internet. Okay. That case, we are using discard or reject option. So set routing options, static route. Your public prefix is 209.10165.200.0/22. And the option is there is multiple option. In static route, we use next hop. We use next hop. We use qualified next hop. So this IP address have no next hop. You will not give /22 in your customer. You give only /29, not 22. So this prefix /22 is not dedicated for any single customer. This is for all your customers. So need to install this route in my route table first. So if I install this route in my route table, we can use two options. Number one is discard. If I use discard option, drop packets to destination, send no ISMP unreachable. Send no ISMP unreachable. That means if I choose discard option, if some packet coming from VPC3 to connect, like this router have IP address 200.200.0/29, just for example. Okay. And the router interface VPC3 IP address is considered 200.2. This IP address is configured in Juniper router, VPC1. So if I send packet to 202, if I advertise this prefix from Juniper router to Juniper router 3, this packet will come first Juniper router 2, then go to Juniper router 1, and then go to VPC1. If I send packet 200.10, if I send packet 200.10, so 200.10, this packet is coming in Juniper router 2, but 200.10 will be in this block. So the action will be discard. So if you yet not use your IP address, that means this IP address is free. So that packet will be discarded in your edge router. That will not forward it to any other downstream router. So this option, discard option, will use to discard the packet, and you also use this discard or reject option to install the route in your route table to advertise this prefix through the other routing protocol. That's maybe busy. Okay. So how to advertise my prefix through the BGP route table? So check routing options route. This is my own prefix, then discard. Even set your preference, you know the static route preference, default preference is 5. If I don't use any preference, default will be 5, and you can also set the preference. So I set your preference to 50 because if I give any /24 prefix in my customer, this customer will advertise this 24 through the BGP. So I receive this prefix through the BGP, and BGP route preference will be 170. If I make the discard route, if I make this /24 as a discard route, my route table have preferred, because discard route have preference 5, and if I get prefix from customer, this preference will be 170. So which one will be winner? Lower preference will be winner. So that will in that case customer will not get it. So in that case we use higher preference than BGP. So third here. So commit this one. See here, run show route. Your route is 22. See here, this route installed in your route table /22. This is static and preference is 250, and action is discard. So if I make a policy, to match this static route, so set policy option from policy statement like Juniper router or ASN 100 IPv4 out. That means I want to advertise this prefix through the BGP, and my pair will be 100. So in that case, I mention the name here, ASN 100 IPv4 out. So match this route, set trump. Here trump is called the number or name, set trump 100. Messing, if you want to mess something after from keyword, you can mess something. So I mess here set 100 from route filter. This is my route /22 and up to /24. That means this prefix 22, but up to 24. This is allowed up to 24. That means if you have 424 here and 223 here. That means prefix length 22, 24 is allowed. So then accept other than reset. Set 10,000, then reset. So this is your policy. So you just attach this policy in your BGP neighbor. So set protocol BGP group, your neighbor, your group name is test. So set this, set neighbor. This is your neighbor and you want to advertise. In Juniper, if you want to advertise something, attach this policy in export. So export, your policy is this. This is your policy. Okay. So check. This is this route installed in Juniper router 2, but Juniper router 3, there is no route. So if I make commit, see here, route is coming. Okay, route is coming. So this route, this is the destination, and this is the next stop, and your next stop in that means outgoing interface is 3, and this prefix is coming from ASN 200. This is coming from ASN 200. That means this prefix origin in ASN 200. And see here, BGP default preference. BGP default preference is 170. And this route is from BGP, border video. So if I want to advertise any prefix from one neighbor to another neighbor, we can use discard or reject option. So check here, edit routing options. So see here, this one is reject. Reject, sorry, discard. Discard means silently drop, not send any ISMP message. So we can also set here a reject for same purpose. Set static route, like this is 23. For example, I set here reject and preference is 250. So you can use reject and discard. Reject will send ISMP message, but discard silently drop. This is the difference between reject and discard. If I comment this one, I will get two prefix, 22 and 23. See here, this is the 22 and this is the 23. So clear, reject and discard. Reject and discard option in a static route. Is
Yes,
it
yes,
clear?
clear, clear.
Okay. So see here, this is also written here. If you specify reject as the next of value, the software send an internet control message, that means ICP message back to the source of the IP packet. That means you send a packet to destination is like 200.10. 200.10 is not live IP. That means it's not connected, or this IP is not configured in any host. In that case, this IP block message this the route table 200.0/24, and this router, the next stop is like reset. So if I send packet to 210, this router resend or reply this packet, this source is not reset. This router sending the response, not forwarding any other router. Okay, so if you specify discard as the next stop value, the software does not send back an ISMP message. The system drops the packet silently. So this is the difference. And this slide, last one is resolve. We use resolve option used if the specified next stop is not directly connected. We use resolve option for means this destination is not directly connected. Okay, this next hop is not directly connected. So if you just check now, just you want to mention a static route, you want to mention a static route to reach this destination. So this destination address, for this destination, there is no route in Juniper Router 1. There is no route in Juniper Router 1. Okay. If I, this is basically connected, if I send this prefix through the BGP, this will be available in this router, Okay. So if you make a static route to reach this destination, you want to mention indirect next hop. That means you want to mention this IP address as a next hop from Juniper Router 1. This is not directly connected. This is indirect. This is indirect next hop. For indirect next hop, you can use a resolve option. You can use resolve option. Okay. So just checking this one. So if I want to connect with this prefix, so set in Juniper Router 1, I'm making a default transfer route for checking 0 by 0, exactly. 0 by 0, exactly. There is no default route. And this route is 10.1. Branch route 10.1.3.0/24. This route also not in your tab. Okay. So you want to communicate. So I can, here is BGP. So I can send this route through BGP and this connected route through this route. So if I send through BGP, edit, policy option, policy statement. My policy is this one. Just I said here, accept, all accept, then accept. Okay, all are accepted, which is in my route table. All are accepted. So make a policy statement, ASN 200 IPv4 out. Set term 1000, then accept. All are accepted, which is in my route. Okay, that's okay. So if I check from VPC 2 to VPC 3, check the connectivity, VPC 2 and VPC 3. So, show display side. So my VPC 3 IP address is this one. So send the ping. Not so branch route. This one. Uh, 10.1.2.1. There is a static route. Default is static route 2.1. So first send the packet to gateway first. Gateway is working. I'm in VPC 2. So my target is this one. Okay. So I'm checking from router 2. There is no route, right? This is the problem. Sure. So, oh, in Juniper Router 3, I'm not attached the policy in BGP. This is the problem. Set never tell export. My policy is this one. So that will make happen. Okay. In Juniper Router 2, if I check the route, yes, I'm getting this route through BGP. Now I'm sending the packet from BPC2 to BPC3. Sending packet BPC2, sorry, uh, 3.10. Yes, this is communicate. And trace route, yes. First, BPC2 gateway, then 1.10, that means router 3. And last one is BPC3. So I want to send packet from BPC1. If I send packet from BPC1, this is not happening because this route is not installed in Juniper Router 1. Not installed, yet not installed in Juniper Router 1. So say, just check this one. There is no route. Okay. So I want to raise from BPC1 with the indirect next hop. Indirect next hop. If you want to raise this prefix through the indirect next hop, so you have to first confirm. You have to confirm first. This indirect next hop will be accessible from Juniper Router 1. Then you can make the route. Okay. So first I'll check this one. One thing. 10.1.0.10. Is it accessible? No, it's not accessible. This prefix is connected with Juniper Router 2. This prefix is connected with Juniper Router 2. So if I make a static route to reach this destination, so set routing options static route. This subnet is 8/30, and next up will be your primary interface 10.1.0.6, and qualified next up will be 10.1. Primary is primary is 2. Primary is 2 and secondary is 10.0.6. Secondary is 6 and preference will be like 7. So set the static route through primary and secondary. So check the reachability and my indirect next up. Now I am reach my indirect next up, but yet not reach my desired destination or final destination. My final destination is 3.10. Okay, my final destination is 3.10. So if I send packet from 3.10, this is not working. Okay, so now um, set the static route, set routing options, but this will not be in your directly connected list. That will be indirect list. Okay, set routing options, static route. This is also called recursive next. Okay, set routing option is static route. You want to go 3.0/24, 3.0/24, and your next hop will be not 0.2, not 0.6. That means your direct next hop will not be here. You want to mention the indirect next stop. So your indirect next stop is 10.1.0.10. This is your indirect next stop. This is connected with Juniper router 3. This is not connected with Juniper router 2. So this is the indirect next hop. When you mention the indirect next hop, you have to mention the resolve option. You have to mention the resolve option. Allow resolution of indirectly connected next hop. If you make any static route using indirect next hop, you have to mention the resolve option. Okay. So if you yeah, okay, resolve option. Come this one. So now check the route, run show route and 3./24 in my route table. See here, route is available in my route table. The next stop is indirect next stop. Okay. And you can see detail or extensive here, extensive in your route. You can find indirect next stop, next stop type, next stop index. This is the next stop selected next stop. Protocol next stop 0.10. Result. See here. Protocol next stop 0.10, but your actual next stop is 10.102. Is the actual next stop. Okay. So if I send packet from VPC 1 to 3.10, if I send packet from VPC 1 to VPC 3, is it accessible or will it be accessible? This is the forward route. This is the forward route. Just sending packet in router 1, router 1 have route. They send the packet through the Juniper router 2 and coming in Juniper router 3. So Juniper router 3, the connected PC. This is the connected PC. So forward, okay. If I send a reverse packet from VPC 3, this packet is coming in Juniper router 3 and checking this route. If this route is available in Juniper router 3, then process the packet. So check this one, reverse. So reverse, we need to check run show route 10.11.0/24. Yes, this prefix in Juniper router 3. So if I send packet from VPC 1, if I send packet from VPC 1, it will be working. Working now? Clear? Resolve option. When
Yes, sir, clear.
you use resolve. Okay. Sometimes it need, but this uses is rare. Okay. So we learn reset, discard, and resolve. So my slide 5, I think complete. Then go to next slide, slide 6. Slide 6 basically discussed in last class. That is about qualified next stop. That is about qualified next stop. Could you mm, could you say about qualified next stop in a single line?
To get priority one interface, we can set priority between two interface. We can set a priority one interface.
Okay, thank you. Anyone? Any other? Okay, so I'll go to slide 7. IPv4 and IPv6 static route. This also covered in last class. If I make IPv6 static route, default static route, make set routing options RIB and it's 6.0 static route, then IPv6 default gateway, then set the next hop and you can set the preference. You can set the preference. Okay. Now here new option is you can set the default preference. You can set protocol default preference. Okay. By default, static route default preference is 5. If you want to make it another value, then you can set the default preference. If you set the default preference, if you change the default preference, all static route preference will be that. Like just say the example. Just go to router 1, run show route protocol static. See here the static route of router 1. This is our static route. So if I resize this one, inet.0, only IPv4 route. I want to see only IPv4 route. This is my IPv4 static route table in router 1. And see the preference. This is the default preference. This 7 is qualified next hop. This is the default preference. This is the default preference. So if I change the default preference, edit routing options, set static defaults. Set static defaults. Defaults means global route options. That means defaults. Defaults, then set static defaults preference. If you want to set like default preference, like you want to set one, like Cisco. Like Cisco, you want to set preference 1. So set the preference, default preference 1. See here, static default preference 1. Static default preference 250. So I set here static default preference 1. So if I comment this one, all default preference will be changed. See the route table. See here. Previous, this one was 5, right? Now, 1. Now 1.
Right. By default, the static route preference 5. But if we set the default preference 1, then that's set 1 for static route, right?
Yes.
Oh.
Because this command, static default preference, that means we can change any default preference, any routing protocol, any route protocol default preference. Okay. If we want to change, then that will be the option. So this is the default
So
preference. If you
can we
want to
change
change.
the default preference of BGP or OSPF?
Yes, of course. Same way. Just
Okay.
mention set protocol, set. I'm in routing options. Forwarding table, BGP, BGP, not RIP routing table options. Static. There is only static here. Edit protocol, BGP. So set defaults. Set advertise accept. There is no default keyword, but have preference. Okay. So in Juniper router 1, there is no BGP route. So that will not make sense. So since Juniper router 3, that will make sense. So my default preference is 170. So now I change here. Edit protocol BGP, set preference. This is eBGP. In Cisco, Cisco use eBGP preference is 20. So
20.
set the preference is 20. So then come this one. Check the BGP route. See here,
Okay, thank you, sir.
20. So we understand the default preference of a static route. Then go to another option, no re-advertise. No re-advertise. Okay. No re-advertise means restrict route from being advertised through routing policy. Highly suggested for a static route is for management route. So if you just attach no re-advertise command in static route, this route will not advertise any routing protocol. Okay, so check here, 10110/24. This route is in Juniper router 3, but this route is connected with Juniper router 1. If I make no re-advertise in Juniper router 2, so in Juniper router 2, if I see this route in Juniper router 2, that will be in static route. That will be in static route. So I set routing options static. I set here set route. My route is in this one 24, and I set here keyword is one is re-advertise. Mark route as eligible to be re-advertised. But I want to mention no re-advertise. That means don't mark route as eligible to be re-advertised. Here, sometimes management traffic or management block we want don't advertise through BGP or another routing protocol because this have some oh,
Security
basically, we
concern.
separate two traffic. That is production traffic, another is management traffic. So we want if we make the separation between management traffic and the production traffic, so we make sure management route will not be in production route. In that case, we will use no re-advertise commands. Okay. So if I attach no re-advertise keyword in this route, so this prefix have no re-advertise command. So this prefix will not advertise. That means if I check from Juniper router 3, this prefix has gone. Clear? No re-advertise.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
our slide 7 have completed. Any query in slide 6, 5, 6, 7? Any query or any question? No. Now I'm going to slide 8. Slide 8, just this is the sample configuration of IPv6 default route I already discussed, and this is the default I already mentioned. When we use defaults, preference, and no reactor. They're basically same topology, same slide. The just highlight your defaults. Nothing changes. So in slide 9, yes, in slide 9, just highlight the default route for IPv6, and this is the default route for IPv4. We already know this. So number 10. In configuration, we use next hop for static route. We use next hop number 1, number 2 qualified next hop, number 2, number 3 discard, number 4 reject. Okay, and other two options. One is resolve and no reactors. So there is 4 options here. We can check these 4 options. Number 1 is AS path. This is basically related to BGP, used if the route is intended to be redistributed into BGP and you want to add values manually to the AS path attribute. In static route, you can mention the AS path. You can mention the AS path. You can mention the community. You can mention the metric. You can mention the preference. We already know how to mention the preference. Used to increase the value of the static routes to prefer other source of routing information. We already know this one. We already know this. Okay. But any idea about these 3? AS path, community, and metric?
Yes.
No idea, right? Okay. So think first is metric. If multiple routes share the same preference value, then the route with the best metric, becomes active in the routing table. Use this value to prefer one route over another. In this case, we use this metric value in BGP, basically. MED. We call this attribute MED. If I want to use in a static route, check this is available or not. So come to router 1. Say here and show route, or go to edit routing options. Say here and this is my route. This is my route, and this is the next stop, and this is the qualified next stop. See here, next hop and qualified next hop have same preference. That means default preference, right? For 2.0, right or wrong? Right.
Yes, yes.
So run show route. So see here, this is the destination. Routing protocol is static, and the next hop is preferred next hop is 0.6. Preferred next hop is 0.6. Both route preference is 1. But I want to make this one will be the primary. This next hop will be the primary. I mention here the default preference, but want to use metric value to make this primary. So how to set static route. My route is this route. And see, metric is available here, not. Yes, metric is available. There is multiple options. So I want to use metric. So set here metric. So in static route, there is metric, any metric value here. There is any metric value here. So before set this one, you can check details.
We need to roll back the metric preference.
Any metric keyword here? Say here.
No.
Any metric? No, right?
Right.
No metric keyword is here. So set set static route. My route is this one. And I can mention the metric, but this metric will be in route, not the next. Okay. This will be in route. Basically, this metric value is used in OSPF and BGP basically. In BGP, that is called MED, and OSPF default called metric. But static, if I set the metric value here, like set 10, see what happens. So this is the metric value 10. Then make the comment and say, see here, any metric is coming here. Yes, metric is 10. Metric is coming in a static route. But
Yes, and added value 10.
But my next hop, any change in next hop? I think not change. Yes, not change. Because this metric is attached in route, not the next hop. So if I set the metric value after the next hop, see what happened. So set the metric will be 5. Now see here. Oh, 10 replaced with 5. So there is no option. Okay. Like preference. So if I mention metric in primary path, this will be in primary path basically. And if I mention metric, maybe need to define the qualified next hop, then metric, maybe. So mention this one. Next hop, set 10, reverse it, and qualified next hop. Qualified next hop, my qualified next hop is this, and I set here metric value 5 or 20. Say here, no. Yes, change. Yeah, change. In secondary, in my qualified next hop, metric value is 20, and primary path metric value is 10. So if I comment this one, so see the static route. See here, and now this is in forwarding table, right? This is in forwarding table. There is metric is 10, and by backup path, their metric is 20. So now need to check the forwarding table. Run show route, forwarding table, destination is this one. So in my forwarding table, 10102 is preferred because this metric value is lower. Clear? In static route, we can configure metric value to prefer the route instead of preference. So there is two options in static to prefer the route. New things. static route have metric value.
Sir, I have a query about qualified next hop.
Mhm.
We set qualified next hop for backup, right?
Backup, right. Backup.
Okay, but how it works when the primary
If I
link is down?
if I set preference for any route, if you only set the next hop, this route preference will be for basically next hop, not for qualified next hop. Okay. If you want to mention primary path preference will be 5, secondary path preference will be 10. If you mention this one, you have to use qualified desktop. Otherwise, you don't mention in Juniper configuration line. Okay.
Okay, but my question was how it's tracking this next hop is reachable or not.
In static route.
Yes, in static route.
In static route, there is no sense to check next hop is reachable or not. There is no sense.
Okay. Okay.
See here. So 2.024, my next exit interface is 0 and 2. So if you just disable this interface from router 2, set interface 0, 0, disable, and 2 disable, 2 disable. So my neighbor router interface shut down manually. Check here route table if anything changed here. Nothing changed.
That means it's useless, right?
There is no sense. This is a static. There is no communication between with peer. There is no communication with peer.
Okay.
If dynamic routing would communicate with peer. If peer is unreachable, neighbor will be shut down. But it's static. There is no sense.
If I add some for different vendors like MikroTik, they have a option to check the gateway, right?
Yes,
Is
yes.
it any option
There is
in the
a
Juniper?
there is a option in Juniper also. RPM.
Oh, okay.
You can set RPM for a static route.
Maybe it's
to
not
sense
supported
the
on the
next hop.
virtual lab, right?
Only physical RPM only support in physical router, not
Okay, thank you,
logical
sir.
router. Okay, so metric this is clear. Number two is community. Used if this route is instead for BGP, you want to add community values to the router for your S. So I can set community value. I can set community value for a specific route. I can set like in Juniper router 2, I advert multiple prefixes. If I set here community value, edit routing options static. So this is my 2 route. This is 2 route. So check here the route. Check here the route. Route is branch route. There is 2 route getting from BC. Okay. So we can say community value here. Set route like 20. Discard reference 250 and set the community. So if I set the community, see here the community, BCP community ID. This community will be used in BCP. So set the community, you can say the default community value, no advertise, no export subconfig, This will be discussed in our BGP section in detail, but I said here one user defined community value. I'm in Juniper router 2, my AS is 200, so set one community value 200.10. Okay. If I set the count, so check this route in my route table, branch route 200.024. This is a discard route and the details extensive say this community value. See here, this community value is attached in route. So now I modify the policy. Policy option policy statement is and I set here set 100 from community if route is from this community, from community this. So there is a AND operation. Must be in this community and route will be in this prefix. 210 community referenced, 200 reference but not defined. That means you have to set this community value. How to set this one? Set policy options coming and set the name here. Set the name. Name is test. And the community members will be this. So my name is test. Test is the community. Okay. So edit policy option policy statement. My ASN. This is my set 100 from community. My community value name is test. Not set the value here. So delete 100 from community. My community value delete from here. Set the sorry. Oh. So see here, if route from this community, route will be permitted for access. So make the commit command and see the route table. Everyone is coming here. So there is no AND operation, right? Community and route filter, there is no AND operation. So I can just disable this one. But it policy option policy
But
statement.
it should operation at end operation, right?
Maybe mostly AND operation, but maybe it takes time. I just clear. That will be
Okay.
better. Run clear BGP neighbor. All neighbor clear. No route here. Run show BGP. BGP is down. BGP now down. Wait for up. It takes time. Yes. BGP now up. Check this one. No. No. There is no AND operation between community and route filter. There is AND operation between protocol and route filter, but this is not happening. Okay. Disable this one. Deactivate from 100 from route filter. That is means route filter disable. So there is only one option. If route in this community, this route will be permitted. So this community value only attached routing options only attached this single slash 24. So check this one. I will get single slash 24. Yet not BGP. So clear the BGP one. Wait for some time. Oh, okay. 20 seconds. Yes, it's up. And 22.
Not work.
Huh?
Not work.
Not what? Why? Why? Why not what? Why not? Edit polyception, polysystem, and yes, then. Oh, this is the
Accepted.
culprit.
Right. They accept. It should be reject.
Set 1000, then reject. Understand? So activate 100 from. There's a big mistake. Big mistake. I accept everything. Okay, and then check from router 3. Yes, getting
Work fine.
only single route.
Working.
Getting only single route because there is AND operation between route
AND
filter
operation.
and community.
Right.
In community list, only allowed this 24. Only allowed this 24. And this 24 is in this slash 22. So both are okay. Then only 24 is allowed here. So we can set community in a static route and we can set the policy those route will be advertised or not. Okay, this route will be advertised or not. That's perfect.
Perfect.
Community. Okay. Then AS path. Used if the route is intended to redistribute it into BGP and you want to add values manually to the AS path attribute. So basically AS path attribute for BGP, but I want to set AS path in static. So how to make this one? So go to our routing options, static, show, set. Select another route like 200. 24, discard, reference, 250, and see AS path is available here. Yes, AS path. Autonomous system path, AS path. So AS path, I can mention here path. At not aggregator, I can mention the path or origin. Basically, this prefix is in this age. This prefix is in this age. So I can make separate like 2 to 4. 2 to 4. I make this one 2 to 4.0/24. This route is discard or uh, uh, we set here discard to install the route. if I not mention the discard, only set the AS path, because this route is in different AS. In that case, I mention here AS path, the autonomous system path. That's maybe dot star. This is the regular expression. I will be discussed in BGP section. Dot star like is number 300. This prefix origin in this S. Okay. So set here the AS path is dot star 300. So set the AS path. Edit policy options AS path. The AS is ASN 300 and set the head. So if I set the value, make it set and set the value is this one. So there will be name. AS path, unexpected character. Where's the head? If I set here 300, I think that is correct, but AS path, AS path. Origin means cell, path, autonomous system path. But problem is star. So I said here 3. You have mentioned path. And path mentioned here 300. So comment this one. This route next hop not configure. You have to mention the next step. So discard option need or any other next step. Comment. Now it's working. So the changes is set policy option AS path is 300. That will be the name AS300. That will be AS300. So comment this one. So if I check this route, run show route, this route is discard, and if I see the extensive, yeah, this is the origin. This prefix is origin in 300 days. See here, 300 days. Okay, now I make the policy. Now I make the policy to accept this prefix. So now I only get 200. In router 2, edit policy option policy statement S and IPv4 out, then show this is already add operation here. So make separate trunk, set trunk 101 from route filter, sorry, from AS path. My AS path name is ASN300. Set RAM 101 from AS path 300. If route coming from AS path 300, then accept. Then insert term 101 after term 100. So now this is separate term. If route matches the 300 AS path, then this route will be permitted. So check this one. This will be in separate tables. So simply, yes, getting this route is 300. Getting this one? Perfect. Mr. Kabir Khan, Sharminapo, clear?
Yes.
Okay. So we can use this S-path community metric preference in static route to advertise the route, matching this route. Basically, we need a policy. We need policy in S-path community. For S-path and community, we need policy to advertise those prefixes. Those have S-path matching. We can advertise or not advertise. If community matches, you can advertise or not advertise. This depend on your policy option action. You can reject. If you make reject, this message and this prefix will not advertise. So I think that is all for today. Already 12. So I have completed up to, that means slide 10. In next class, we'll just review your knowledge. Okay. I will review your knowledge. That is two section. That means slide 11 and slide 12. Basically, slide 13, 11, 12, and 13. That is your home task. You check this one. You understand or not? So I will discuss in next class and asking you about slide 11, 12, and 13. Because these three slides already discussed in two classes, last class and today's class. So perfect. Your training session is okay. Interesting, informative.
Yeah, it's fine.
That's fine. No comments, right?